Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. Does anybody here really know everything? That's a question that we all have, because there's a lot of people that think they have to know everything there is to know. And no, the actual answer is, what you need to know is the most information you can about your product or service that you're selling. And if you're going to help other people, you've got to know what they're selling. I talk to coaches, and I can tell you this, everybody who is in a top-notch position, and I don't care who it is, they have coaches and people that they can work with to reflect ideas from. You don't have to be 100% perfect in everything, but do you know that one of the most popular and wealthy people in entertainment is Oprah, and she has 4 coaches she works with. Now, why would she need coaches of all the okay, because they coach her in every little thing. Maybe the interviews, the kind of questions, the kind of lighting, whatever it might be. If you're in a selling situation or you're going to help others in a selling situation, you've got to understand the most important thing you need to do is to be confident. The best way to learn confidence is to have education about your product. And when you're educating yourself about your product, it doesn't hurt to deal with coaches. I'm a coach myself, and I help a lot of people. And yet, I have several coaches that I use. Why? Because they not only help keep me focused, but they also show me where I could be possibly making mistakes, because none of us are perfect. There isn't one perfect person at all, or a person who has all the answers and can't use help from a third party, another person that could be objective and tell them what they're doing and how they're coming across. This is why you have directors for actors, some of the best actors in the business. You can name some of the top names. They have directors. Do you think an actor goes on set and says, look, I'm an actor, I'm experienced, I've been doing this for 40 years. You don't have to tell me what to do. No. They can't always see what they're doing. Even the best actors that I know and have known who have been acting in stage and in screen have coaches that they work with to make sure that they have accents down, or they check their timing. And a lot of times their vocal inflections or their stares. If they're acting like they're angry, they have a certain stare they put on. You have a coach for the makeup. You have a coach for the wardrobe, a coach for the lighting, and a coach for the director. That's why he has an assistant director. Not somebody that's more experienced than him or her, but the assistant director is somebody to help fill in the gaps. When I was in business with a business partner, my business partner and I would reflect everything off of each other, because nobody knew absolutely everything. The whole concept is that you have to be objective about what you're doing and see how you come across from another point of view. A person who is looking at you, they're checking your body language, they're checking your facial expressions, maybe the way that you dress, or whatever it might be, but everybody needs a coach. In my coaching program, the 6-figure selling system, remember that six figures starts at $100,000, and it goes up from there. You can go up to almost $1 million and you're still at 6 figures. Now, if you want to jump into the 7-figure system, I have other coaches that I work with that can help me help you. And that's a very, very nice feature. In other words, it's not that I don't trust myself, because I do. You're not going to find a person who is more confident than me when it comes to representing a product. But, I mean, you will, but chances are not at the moment. So what am I saying? I'm saying that even I have to reflect off of somebody and be told how to stay in line, because a lot of times my overconfidence can make it look like I'm talking too much and not making a good point. So I have coaches that help bring me in and help me make my points concisely and speak clearly. I even have coaches for the video that I'm filming. And again, none of us are 100% perfect. There is a person that can know too much, because there's no such thing as knowing too much unless they refuse to listen to anybody else objectively. The most professional people are willing to take a good comment or critique from another person. They don't always need it. It's not because they don't trust themselves. It's because they want to make sure they stay in line. I want to make sure I'm staying in line when I'm talking to you. I have people that check me on so many different areas, and I'm constantly writing notes every day about everything that I do. And I have coaches that I go to, and I still take training. It's like this. Years ago, I knew a person who was a very accomplished musician. He sold a lot of million-selling albums and million-selling records. And I was at a dinner one night at his house, and I sat next to an elderly gentleman, and I asked him, I said, how do you know? And I mentioned the name of this artist, and he said, I'm his piano teacher. And I said, wow, that's great that you guys stayed in touch for all these years. And he said, no, I'm still his teacher. And I'm going, wait a minute, what are you saying? He takes lessons? He goes, yeah. So I went to this gentleman who had just got another gold record, and I said, you're an accomplished performer. You fill up stadiums. How is it you're taking piano lessons? And he said, because you can never know too much. And he said, he's still learning. And this is a person that didn't need, if you were to listen to his music and his piano playing, you'd say, this guy doesn't need piano lessons. However, he thinks he does because he's always learning something new. Can you imagine that? At the time, he was about 50 years old. Imagine a guy that's been performing since he was in his 20s, and yet he still needs a coach to tell him what he's doing and help him improve things. That was amazing to me. But now in my line of work, I decided that I needed a coach. So there's people that I found to check in with. When I became a coach, I had people that for years checked in with me. Some of them still do. And only because I'm objective, not because I'm better than them, but because I can see things that they can't see, because they're not looking at themselves with the same eyes. Just like I don't look at myself with the same eyes. And believe it or not, even in this video, I have somebody critiquing it when I'm done. So always remember, you're never too good to not need a coach. We all need the actual objective viewpoint to see what we're doing so that we can be on top of our game and be the best that we can be. You too will be the best that you can be. When you join the six-figure selling system, you'll have coaching directly from me and anybody else in an expert field that might be related to whatever it is that you're selling, so that you can get an outside opinion and maybe even pick up a technique here and there. It does happen. You can't pick up new techniques. It happens all the time. One of the biggest areas that people have trouble with is referrals. Guess where some of the best referrals came from? From the suggestions that were made by somebody else that had been doing it longer than me. You can read all the books, you can listen to all the seminars, but you have to pay attention and realize that the reason why you're doing this is for self-improvement, because you never stop improving. No one is perfect. We have to keep going and keep moving forward. When you do that, you'll be able to be on top of your game. And what absolutely floored me was when I found out the number one salesman in a company I was working for, that was a national company, had a coach that he was listening to. I thought, you, of all people, this guy made us all look like we were amateurs. And yet he was a top salesperson. And he had a coach. And I couldn't believe it. But it was the same reason. He keeps learning things, new techniques, things like that. And you know what? Since every sale is different, you might have to have a slightly different technique that'll work for that one customer that has one little persnickety element that you don't know how to get over. And believe me, none of us have all the answers. So let's get and explore and get into our coaching business and find out more and more and more how we can improve by working off of other people to give us feedback and help us along with our coaching and guidance to make sure that we stay on top of our game.